Division. League One Ontario Women's Premier Division Game of the Week. Hello, welcome to as we said, pretty wet Oakville, the Sheridan Trafalgar Campus Stadium here, as the hosting Oakville Blue Devils, playing in all blue, kicking from right to left on your screens. Play host to the visiting North Mississauga Soccer Club, playing with the red jerseys and the black shorts, and the Red Sox will be kicking left to right on your screens now. As I've already mentioned, it is very wet. The rain has been on and off all day. At the moment, we are in the midst of a slightly stronger spell, and so we'll have to. It remains to be seen what sort of effect those conditions are going to have on the game. Obviously, the surface is going to be slick, but you're worth keeping an eye out on the handling from the goalkeeper as well. It's going to be very, very tricky for them out there. So it remains to be seen whether either team will look to take advantage of that and loft some high balls into the areas and really challenge the goalkeeper, get them underneath those balls in this wet weather. Aside from the wet, there's no kind of like really poor weather conditions. It's a still day. It isn't freezing cold, but it is, as mentioned, slippery out there. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. There's actually Twytle coming up in that right channel is battling to get a crossing position. Plays it back for the overlapping Annika Gross, and we really have an early goal. Is that ball flashing across the face of goal, trying to find a home at the far post, just creeping wide. We are of course privileged to see this is of course the first game for Blue Devils. This week they had a bye last week, so this will be their opening match. North Mississauga coming off the back of a 5-3 victory over Pro Styles last week, where actually their last season's top goal scorer Nadia Gill, who ended last season with 17 goals, which is good for second in the last season in scoring charts. She already scored 2, so look for her. That's number 10. She's wearing the captain's armband for North Mississauga today, for her to take some advantage. You see that one's played low and looked to get knocked on by Abigail Russell, but nobody was kind of behind her, so looking to sweep up those scraps. Interesting approach as Twytle was able to find a direct line of entry flat along the floor with that corner. The North Mississauga defense looking for a handball on Stephanie Young, but nothing coming on that one. North Mississauga now with the throw-in on the far side. Perhaps try to find some shape, get into a rhythm of their own, as it's certainly been the Blue Devils on the front foot thus far through the first few minutes, opening knockings of this contest. Options were looking for the through ball, but just about cut out by Julia Martins, the left fullback there. Twytle now look to make some advantage, gain some territory down that wing, but well read and well covered by Darcy Feischney. My apologies, you did join us slightly in media res, so might have an opportunity to run through the starting lineups now. For Oakville Blue Devils, we have in goal Eliza Palucci. Annika Gross is actually North Mississauga, look to come the other way. A good chance here, spearheaded by Kennedy Herman. Takes the shot, falling for Alaya Micheline Simone Lilly. Coming through with a quick goal in the 5th minute. There was a turnover in the midfield from the Oakville Blue Devils. Kennedy Herman streaked down, found the space behind the defense.
Micheline Simone Lilly in the 5th minute of play.
Herman's attempt on goal was initially saved by Palucci, but Palucci wasn't able to hold on to the shot, and it found its way right into the path of Micheline Simone Lilly, who dispatched it without making any sort of mistake, giving North Mississauga a quick lead early in this one. 1-0 lead, as I mentioned, in just the 5th minute. Oh, and that's a great ball there from Intervon, looking for Twytle. Just out of the reach of the Blue Devils captain at this point. For a moment for this action to calm down, so I can bring you the starting lineup. So Blue Devils, who are back on the attack. Intamong looking to bring that one in. I'll give it to you numerically, which is how it's listed. So Annika Gross, Laura Twytle, Abigail Russell, Leanne Falkers, Stephanie Young, Julia Martins is the number 9, Jennifer Inthavong, who was what it has to say, one of the goal threats for Oakville this afternoon. Maria Poveda, Chloe Delgamo, and then Priscilla Vulgaris. That's your Oakville Blue Devils starting lineup. And then certainly I'll give you the Mississauga starting lineup now as I actually is top of the list. Addison Green is in goal. Stephanie Guidi, Samantha Naus, Kennedy Herman, Yaji Gill, Alaya Micheline Simon-Willie. Already an intervention from her in this stage. Reese Fowler, Alicia Rizecki, Darcy Fikney, and then Andriana Santor. So that's your starting lineups this afternoon. Just a quick start. This is North Mississauga already up there. She wasn't able to spilling it into the path of the missions. So you see that when the pace is able to stay up consistent throughout the whole 90 continue on. Wants to cut in on that right foot. Well, the defenders on the front side. Let's go over the second one. Blue Devils in the game. So they just played it flat along the rail. Taking anything away. Intamong brings that one in. Nearly had the time to take the shot, but Fowler was able to shot it down. It's a good touch from the Blue Devils. She backwards and brings it on one kick. This is our defense. Stride for stride as they're chasing that ball. We're looking to make throwing over from the finish. Presentation here. Good challenge from Reese Fowler. Moves that one across. Paolucci this time with Jackson and his candy Herman was reaching on the front doorstep. Looking to advantage in this game. Mississauga looks impressive. Very, very high. Really giving a real opportunity to settle on the ball out of their own end. Good at reading these blue balls. It certainly seems to be the current avenue forward for Oakville. Look at that shape. You can see the certainly out. Make something happen in that bar. Cut up by the Mississauga. Stepping away, looking for a pass. You can see Paul is waiting for it. Maybe it's a touch too ambitious in the backfield. Gaining possession. Looks to take that one with the left foot, not a bad effort at all. You know, really had a couple of runners ahead of him. And Mississauga defense, it was a good strong turnover in the middle of the block. You can see that certainly looks like we were able to attack that little field. It really close off in the space in the middle. To take advantage of that little medias. If you do follow the step away. Not quite able to take the shot. Trying to keep one too many hours. White shepherd. Finding its way out. But if you did follow Legal Ontario Women's Division on Twitter, you'd be able to find the prediction polls that they put out on these games. And you would be able to affect the outcome of that. They have 42% blue double win as that ball over the top is looking for kill. Didn't get a good on it. Lucy's able to ouch that one. Goes with not bad with the boards. Light Kayla's intense. So yeah, the Blue Devils win 42%, North Mississauga win 47%. And then a tie 12%. But you can see the and then you've seen North Mississauga score freely already in that single game. The season will start. 5 past pro stars, but yeah. Netting in 3, so you see why people will be divided on which way this one's going to go. Cut out by the defense. Hit the ball. Landed the green space in front of the L1O of full guards, who she looks for the box. Guards needs to pop that one in, evading and smack it down. So clear by Central down here. Lugo will send a little bit of the team more likely to score. This is our other team that has scored. This is way punches up the floor. It does get another chance and it goes all the way through to Interval. Maybe couldn't believe her luck. Oh, really bit of work there. To get away from absolutely no nonsense from her. She was able to get over and just send that ball back down the highway to Toronto. Taking a shot on. Come on. Assuming it doesn't go back, but the officiator's staff disagree with her. A little bit open on the other corner. Just telling that one forwards. Keeping on the Twilight to work on opportunity. This is running out of time. Getting away with just a goal. Referee deeming this nothing more transgressive than worth the transgression worth nothing more than a simple talking to. On this occasion, I'm sure he'll be keeping an eye out for Priscilla Vulgaris in the future. This one is just sent right up the middle for North Mississauga to win that second ball. Faishni able to just kind of continue her run. Oakville not really dealing with this particularly well. Maybe trying to be a little too cute in terms of trying to play this out of possession. Well, I was almost made to eat my words. They actually almost were able to do that, but instead giving up the throw-in. Gill looked to turn against two. Vulgaris able to get the challenge in, give up nothing more than a throw. I'll break with a slightly misreading the intentions of Fowler there, but Guizetti coming away with it. Looks for Herman, who looked for the nutmeg on Martin. Nels, spray that one wide for Guidi, who just about keeps it in, but slips in the act of doing so. Poveda now. As Oakville look to build again, Twytle has all kinds of space on this left side, but break quick into that challenge. Takes away the time, took away the pass. Fowler keeps that one moving. Guizetti on this near side. She has Herman streaking ahead of her. Looks for Simone Lully. Does very well to bring that down amongst a lot of blue shirts. Plays it off for Gill. Dispossessed by Poveda. Now Young looking for her options. Was trying to find Intervong, but not able to do so. And Martins wins a free kick for her attention on, or for the attention paid to her by Herman. As Russell will get us started for Oakville. These red shirts marshalling and filling the space in their defense and ahead of the defense slightly, very nicely. Ooh, a nice touch from Twytle. She has options. Looking for that run of Vulgaris inside. That clearance only as far as Poveda, though. Finds Twytle. Here's Gross. Forkers on that far side. Tried to play in Vulgaris, but caught the winger on her heels a little bit. The ball is maybe a little spicy as we move into the 21st minute hit. The rain not yet abated. Guizetti able to turn. Looks to get away from Twytle, who's doing all she can to pull her back. Break crowded out by two Blue Devils players on that occasion. But I'm sure North Mississauga will be happy with that one. Gill, neat little header back. But the ball just drifting out of play. Martins maybe wanted to play that one quickly down the line, but Intervong wasn't quite aware of it. And then Twytle maybe doing the same thing. But now's able to get back in there and sweep things up. North Mississauga just keeping hold of it. Looking to make inroads, but that ball for Fowler was a touch loose, and Blue Devils pouncing on that. Although that's a good read by Nous to make sure it doesn't get through to Twytle. And a lovely ball through for Gill, who's found herself in between the lines. Gill's pass for Fashni was a touch awry, though. Oh, and then that pass for Martins for Forkers was almost equally poor. Needlessly giving up possession, giving up a throw in at a dangerous part of the field for North Mississauga. Fowler looking for her options. Guizetti has plenty of space and time. With no real options, and she looked to touch it past Twytle. Not getting anywhere with that one. Oh, good work from Herman to get back and make sure nothing untoward happens, but Intervong looking to step in, and then her pass looking for Poveda was cut out by Fowler. As Micheline Simone Lilly, see, look at this North Mississauga forward line, hunting as a pack, putting that pressure on, and then Forker's ball for Vulgaris, just a little bit heavy. Ooh, a nice ball. That's for Gill, who again had found a pretty decent little pocket of space just off the shoulder of the Annika Gross, the defensive midfielder for, or one of the two sitting midfielders. Looks like both of them are kind of roughly in a 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3 shape, depending on how you want to interpret it. Poveda got beautifully done for the on-rushing Young, who has options, but the touch was maybe a little loose. Met well by Santoyani. Thundered clear by Guizetti. And North Mississauga now look to spark a transition forward of their own, but Fashni not able to keep that one in. You may have seen on the far side, of course, that's Carly Tingstad, who is the new head coach for the Oakville Blue Devils. So this will be her first competitive match in charge of this team. She's also currently the Brock University head coach, so certainly comes with credentials, as well as holding a UEFA A Pro license. So knows her stuff. But coach can't really do much about loose balls in the midfield. As Young just about holding on to that one. As Martin's able to get this one back. Twytle, Poveda, Young. Will look to loop that one across for Vulgaris, who just drifted offside anyway. Now Young telling Vulgaris that perhaps she was a touch too close. Wanted the Oakville player, the winger, to stay a wider. Now it's with plenty of time. Looks for Guidi. Well attended to by Vulgaris, cutting off that avenue forward. Santoyani has Guizetti, chooses that option. And Guizetti looks for Micheline Simone Lilly, but and then break quick on that front foot, always looking to run and press. The ball down the line, eventually finding its way nearly to Intervong, but well read. Herman now looks to play that one through for Gill, and Fashni was ghosting in on that far side. The ball almost certainly was intended for Nadia Gill, but kind of evaded everybody until it was seen clear by Leanne Forkers. Stramash up at on the far side there as North Mississauga look to just kind of force that one through. Taking inspiration perhaps from the rugby markings on the field. So they hope to just like rock and maul their way forward, but Feishni with a neat turn inside. Herman is on her own on this far side and screaming for the ball. Guzetti, let's see if she finds it. It puts that one into the middle again. North Mississauga look very happy to just kind of loop that ball in for Alea Micheline Simon-Lilly, the goal scorer, and kind of play for those second balls off her as she does terrifically to kind of hold that ball up, use her strength, and play in then Naja Gill, who's kind of just sitting off the number 11. Oh, that one bouncing awkwardly, and Micheline Simon-Lilly finds Feishni in the space. She was looking to get across him, but Forkers was on hand to only give up a corner. I'd say on days like today, you have to be thankful for the drainage on the pitch. Well, it seems unlikely we're going to see any sort of standing water as Naja Gill prepares to put this one in. You can see that a lot of North Mississauga shirts in the box here. This one looped over, just evading the head of Micheline Simon-Lilly. Starting position of North Mississauga and their attackers was very aggressive, kind of around the penalty spot at the edge of the 6-yard box. Stark contrast to the Oakville Blue Devils, who went with comparatively fewer attacking players in the box on their during their corners, and really was relying more on the movement as Paolucci gets us restarted with a goal kick to her centre back. So an interesting contrast in the way both of these teams play their corners. North Mississauga perhaps just relying on aerial superiority and better ability in the air. Whereas Oakville certainly looking for movement and varying the delivery height as well, which we've already seen from their corner. So we'll see how that develops as the game goes on. Oakville calm in possession this time, but just about able to stay ahead of the North Mississauga press, finding Martins with a bunch of space on this side. And she is happy to take advantage of it. Plays that one inside for Paveda, who looks to keep it moving for Twiddle. Beautifully done. Intervong is on her own in the middle. She had just about given up her run, and the ball nearly squirmed its way over for Fulgaris, but a good starting position for Addison Green, and she was quick off our line and just nicked that one off the toes of the advancing Priscilla Vulgaris. Twiddle was certainly looking for the run of Jennifer Intervong, the Oakville Blue Devils number 10, who had maybe just held up her run just a touch, because perhaps she was looking for the ball to feet rather than ahead of her. So there's a slight miscommunication there. But Oakville really capitalizing nonetheless on that chance. They worked very well to advance the ball in a sweeping move down this near side flank. Paveda looks very comfortable on the ball. Ran out of space on the far side. Lovely turn from Young. Looks for Intervong. A great touch away from Santuani has Twiddle. Second time she's been able to do that. Oh, and Young has continued her run, just battling and spinning like a top in the penalty box to try and get an opportunity away, but they're able to just about get that one, hack that one clear for another corner. So as mentioned, you can see the Oakville Blue Devil players stacked up on the edge of the box, looking to beat North Mississauga with their runs into the space. that one loops across, just kind of evading everybody, but back into space, onto the head of Young. Bouncing off a North Mississauga defender at the back post and was acting like a rebounder. Young able to kind of get her brow to it, but there wasn't really a lot of space on the ball. She was kind of caught underneath it. So Addison Green, the North Mississauga keeper, happy to scoop it up. Squizetti, right on the touchline. Ooh, looking to play that one in underneath for Fechny, but Gross does well. Bring that one in. Mons surveys her options, finds Intervon. A nice touch to keep that ball moving for Poveda, who's looking for Fulgaris, who wants that ball down the channel, and again looking for that ball underneath the fullback. This time the pass didn't really have enough on it. Gidi, we've already seen several occasions already. This half is a good reader of the game. Wasn't beaten by the pass this time around. Herman with a great touch to ball in for Fowler, who maybe held onto it for a little bit too long in the midfield. We've already seen that, again, throughout this game, that the Blue Devils have done a great job of just putting bodies in that midfield between Gross, Young, and Poveda. They do a really good job of kind of limiting play through the midfield as much as possible. Blue Devils, of course, will be hoping that the introduction of a new head coach will have them improve upon their performance last season, where they unfortunately finished, fortunately for them anyway, finished 15th at the end of the season. It is, of course, a team with a great deal of Fechny looking to return on Martin's neat little nutmeg there. Intervon looking for the on-rushing Young, but Guizetti on hand. Oh, nice touch by Herman, looking for Gill. On the ball for Herman there, and see everything just sticking to Micheline Simon Lully as she's able to spin into the space, gets away from Dalgamo, almost 2 bites at it, nearly able to manufacture a shooting chance, and then instead lays it off into the path of Nadia Gill, who stabbed at it, but just sent it over the bar this time around. Very, very good play, hold-up play, and center-forward work from Alaya Micheline Simon Lully. Twaddle battling with break. Lovely work from the both of them there. So yeah, as mentioned, Oakville Blue Devils, of course, a historically significant team within League One, with the women's and the men's. With the women's in particular, they were regular season champions and playoff finalists in 2019, and then playoff finalists in 2021. So it's a lovely ball over Fulgaris. Will it hold up for her? She's just about able to keep hold of that ball. Poveda looks to swing it in. Gill now on the edge of her own area. Gets that one out for break. Micheline Simone Lilly again, everything just sticking to her up top. Not able to feed in Herman. So your Blue Devils, of course, will be looking to get back to where they were just a couple of seasons ago. North Mississauga, on the other hand, a decent finish last year, 9th overall, which is 3 spots out of the playoffs, but it was actually 9 points. So it was a bit of a gap below Simcoe County, who just missed out on the playoffs last year. So they'll be looking to improve upon that as well. Obviously, North Mississauga, one of the founding clubs of League One Ontario Women's Premier Division, and the champions from 2015. So I'm sure they'll be looking to replicate former glories as well. And indeed, they're in good shape here. 36th minute in the first half. In this wet Oakville Stadium. 1 goal to the good. Alia Micheline Simone Lully knocking in Kennedy Herman's rebound after a turnover in the middle of the field had let the North Mississauga number 9 streak through. Similarly to the way Stephanie Young is able to do so now. We've already seen Young's left foot is certainly a weapon. She had a long-range effort earlier that just glanced, flashed past the far post. This one, I have to say, we had the perfect angle for it. We were right behind her when she struck that ball, and it looked like it was just going to curl its way into that top left corner, but not quite enough bend on it this time around. But Oakville will be encouraged by this. The the late runs of their midfielders is certainly where they've been able to, particularly Young, actually, the number 8. Well, that's wonderful interplay from Intervong and Twidle there, and Samantha now's on hand to hack that one clear. But yeah, as mentioned, the late run of Stephanie Young in particular from the Oakville Blue Devils midfield has been a real path forward for the home team thus far today. So, and a penalty has been given for that flash of the studs from Guizetti into the midriff of Stephanie Young, as she kind of looked to just force her way through. Young certainly wasn't protesting too much, but referee saw it as a penalty, and he has given it as such. So Oakville Blue Devils now with an opportunity, Stephanie Young, an opportunity to tie things up in the 38th minute of the game. Oh, and pulls it wide. That's got to be disappointing. A real opportunity. Now, as I say, Oakville has certainly seen the majority of the ball potentially, but certainly to my eyes have been on the front foot, certainly been more and have showed more endeavor, had more looks at goal. Certainly a great deal more corners, but that's a gilt-edged opportunity to tie the game up, and one that is thrown away by Stephanie Young. She looked to just place it in the bottom right corner, instead just dragged it wide of the post. One can only hope she shakes that off, isn't affected by it. And here she is again, Young steaming through the middle of the field, looking for that ball, looking for that through ball for Twidle, but clipping off the heels of Guizetti. Back to Young, maybe tries to do a little too much with it, tried to get in between two players. Had options to move the ball. His breaker stayed down while Gill streaks forward. Herman looking to take on her fullback. Doesn't really have any options to move the ball, so moves with it instead. Fowler does well, keep fighting. And puts the ball out of play, so Break is able to receive some treatment. The young midfielder certainly looks to be in a good deal of distress, which is certainly something nobody really wants to see. You can see her replacement on the far side immediately lining up. Getting ready to come on, so the coach evidently not wanting to risk continuing her play. Break certainly coming off the worst in a clash between her and Young. Able to walk off the field under her own steam, which is good to see, but one can only hope this isn't anything more serious than a nasty knock, and the coaching staff are correctly playing it safe. It's unfortunate for North Mississauga. She's been playing very well. Just quick into a challenge. Loved it. Really leading, one of the leaders of the press for North Mississauga, looking to hem Oakville into their own end. She'll be replaced by Kira Kostopoulos. The
North Mississauga
42nd minute.
substitution in the 42nd minute, coming into the match, here Kakisopoulos, and coming out of the match, number 23, Ravina Breach. Mississauga substitution in the 42nd minute.
This one is sportingly handed back to North Mississauga to get us back underway as the rain does intensify towards the end of this first half. Ooh, searching ball forward, just evading Gill. But she does well to stay alive and stay on top of it. And Kotsopoulos looking to introduce herself quickly, fill the role by the Brace had left. Lead that press, not allow the midfielders to settle. Ooh, that one just about kept in by Vulgaris, and Poveda looks for Intervong. Does well to bring that one in under pressure. Was looking for Twytle, but not quite able to get that one moving as Gill again comes back and picks the pocket of Annika Gross, who has to give up the free kick and receive a yellow card for her troubles. In the 43rd.
43rd minute to Blue Devils number 2, Annika Gross. Yellow card in the 43rd minute.
So, as you may have heard, there was confirmation from the stadium announcer that it was indeed Annika Gross receiving a yellow card in the 43rd minute for that challenge on Nadia Gill. We'll see whether that will kind of affect her play and as the game moves forward into the second half. Oh, good toss, and Machine Simon Lilly does terrifically let that one run across her body, try and take that space right down by the touchline, but she's ended up shepherded out of play by the massed ranks of the Oakville Blue Devils defense. What is allowed to run all the way through for Santoyani. Poveda now. Twytle. Stachny looks to intervene in a particularly brusque way and actually works out well after she went to ground there. Santoyani playing that ball into a Blue Devils trap right in the middle of the field as Twytle, but does very well to put the foot in, get the ball away from Twytle. She looked to streak past her. Ooh, and Young Link up and roll across her, but Santoyani quickly able to get rid. Russell does well to win a throw in off Micheline Simone Lilly. Martin's looking for Twytle. Looks to bring it in. Ooh, neatly turned around as Interwong with a wonderful wee touch over Santoyani, but Naus was on hand to get that one out and immediately start the play forward. Russell looking for options, has Martins, but not a great ball there. Fashni was waiting for it, but
The fourth official has indicated there will be 2 minutes of additional time.
Devon looks to wriggle her way free, as she has done. But Santoyani didn't give up on it, came back, won that ball, gave it to Guizetti. Nice take on the turn by Gill. So we have a couple of minutes added on time at the end of the first half here. Really getting down to it if Oakville want to get themselves back in the game. I think they'd really, really appreciate a goal right before the end of the first half. I have to say their endeavor and their play maybe deserves one. But the North Mississauga defense has been resolute thus far. Kennedy Herman looks to spray that one across for Fashni. Oh, a lovely turn there, sending Martins. Now, who does she have to play to? No real options, no real passes. Martin's able this time to just win the throw and off the winger. Sol looks for her options. Martins then, nearly ran out of space, but did well to wriggle free. But Fowler able to read that one ball, keep going, let a shot go, but Poveda was able to charge it down and give up a corner. On the other hand, of course, North Mississauga will look to strike double their lead just before the end of this first half. But a very different complexion on things. Scored early in the game at the 6th minute via Alaya Mishnitsima and Lily's turned in rebound. We've had a missed penalty already. We've had a yellow card. A game really full of incident. Oh, and that one, just about looping in, that turned in by Kennedy Herman. Chaos in the box from that corner. Wasn't dealt with well by the Blue Devils defense. Fell to Guizetti, actually, who had a good opportunity. Good opportunity to put that one in.
9, Kennedy Herman. Goal scored in the 45th minute.
And Guizetti had a good opportunity to put it in herself, but her miss kick found its way to Kennedy Herman, who again didn't appear to know a great deal about it. Her volley, her attempt towards the goal, not struck cleanly, and it just looped over the stranded Paolucci. and welcome back to the second half here of our League One Ontario Women's Premier Division Game of the Week, as we have a lightning quick start from the Oakville Blue Devils, who have come out for the second half, 2 goals down. North Mississauga establishing a 2-0 lead in that first half with a very early goal from Alaya Michelin-Simone-Lilly and a very late goal from Kennedy Herman. So, yeah, we'll see how the two head coaches, as Jennifer Intavong looks to wriggle her way free, looks to get a shot off. We'll see how our two head coaches, Carly Tingstad and Peyman Mosavat, were able to prep their teams. It certainly looks like the Blue Devils are racing out of the traps on the front foot, looking to get an early goal in this half. Maybe correct the scoreline as they would see it. Of course, it's Twiddle battling well. Oh, and Vulgaris was nearly away if Intavong was able to get a toe on that, but just the pass from Young just evading her. As Russell just turns away from that danger, lashes out one clear. Reminder, I suppose, as well, that we did have a change through to injury in that first half. Ravina Braish being replaced by Kira Kotsopoulos. And a disciplinary roundup. Annika Gross, the number 2 for Oakville Blue Devils, had picked up a yellow card late in that first half, the 43rd minute. So also a reminder, of course, in that first half, we did see a missed penalty from Oakville. So it's really as Naji Gill jinks inside, looks to find a seam, lets a shot loose, only finds Stephanie Young. The North Mississauga crowd to my left, really looking for a handball on that one, but one has to say that her hands were pretty close to her body. So Poveda looks to bring that one in under the attentions of Reese Fowler, gives up a throw in. Heedy will relieve Fowler of the duty. Look for Michelin-Simone-Lilly, turns brilliantly, but just beats herself with the ball bouncing off her standing foot. And that one allowed to run by Guizzetti out of play. North Mississauga will get us restarted. Intavong in nicely there. And Gross keeps that one moving for Poveda. Ball didn't quite settle. Or Forkas does well to step in front of that one. Looks for Vulgaris, but again, Guidi reads that one well, as she has been all game. The North Mississauga left back. We didn't have any changes at halftime, so we do continue as we were, personnel-wise. Forkas looks for the run of Gross, but this one bobbling around. Vulgaris turned into the pressure of Fowler. Finds Gill. Gill again looking to cut inside. Tries to find Fowler down that outside, but Forkas was maybe a touch tentative in addressing that ball. Could have been a bit more forceful. Got away with it. Got the throw in off the feet of Fowler. As North Mississauga looked to kind of stitch them in and not allow an easy out ball. Ooh, nice work to find Gill, whose shot finds its way clipping off the back of Young's heels directly into the grateful arms of Paolucci in the Oakville Blue Devils net. Gets us restarted by rolling it out for Russell, who will take that space. But a good step into the challenge by Darcy Faishney. Young looking to turn, but a good challenge from Kotsopoulos. Gets a foot in. But then Micheline Simon-Lilly's ball for Feichny not quite finding its target. As we said, one thing that North Mississauga have really been able to benefit from is having a focal point in Micheline Simon-Lilly. They're able to just kind of get that ball right up to the number 11 as Gill makes some space and looks to play that one back in for Herman. It's a neat ball. And she keeps her run moving and lashes that one in at the near post, with Paolucci able to trap it between her legs. It's good movement, good work from Gill, between Gill and Herman, working that space. But yeah, as mentioned, North Mississauga are able to capitalize upon the presence of Micheline Simon-Lilly, who's done a terrific job playing with her back to goal. Anything anywhere near her just sticks to her, and she's able to kind of play it off to the waiting Gill in particular, or Herman, who tends to come in a little bit closer. Feichny wants to stay a little bit further, closer to the touchline as Twytle dances her way through, finds Intervong. The ball maybe came a little too close to her, but the captain, Laura Twytle, did terrifically to dance her way through several North Mississauga players. A pullback for Jennifer Intervong was a good one, but maybe came at her a little bit too quickly across the surface. He just able to nearly just sort of bundle her way through, but Young steps in. But now there's a space for Gill to attack against Forkers. Forkers obviously not wanting to leap in as Gill just keeps going. Oh, oh my word! A wonderful, a great play from Gill to just keep with it, use all of the space she had. Oakville Blue Devils had thought they'd done enough, but Gill kept with the ball, realized she had another couple of feet, and was able to cut that one back right into the feet of Micheline Simon-Lilly. Kotsopoulos now looking for Herman. And you have to say that in the early runnings in this half, that North Mississauga have been able to really make hay down this near side to us, as Intervong gets into a foot race with the North Mississauga defense. And this, and Intervong has been very good this so far, but maybe needs somebody to play off her. She maybe needs one. Tell you what, Young with a sharp shot in, and she actually had a couple of good opportunities in the first half, some decent long-range efforts. That left foot of hers is a weapon. Is a threat for North Mississauga. She is unfortunately also the player that missed the penalty. But you can see it's not running on her too heavily. She continues to step forward. But yeah, for Oakville, their forward corner in was just kind of not really dealt with by North Mississauga, as Twytle takes another lash at it, finding Herman at the back post for North Mississauga, who's able to thump that one clear. As Forkers and Gill get into a foot race too, but Forkers does well. Gill not giving up on that one, cutting off that easy pass out to the near side here, but Oakville working it up that way all the same. Finds Gross. And Delgamo perhaps thought she had more time than she did. Able to get away with a throw-in. Ooh, and that one just pinballing its way around, but Oakville coming away with it at the feet of Intervong. Well, looks for the ball through for Vulgaris, but a little bit too heavy. Try to play that one underneath. And so I think this is actually where Intervong is at her best. Is sort of in front of the defense rather than leading the line. We've seen on a few occasions in that first half, she does well to bring the ball in, but never really has an immediate option to play it off to. The late runs of Stephanie Young were a pretty solid avenue forward, but we'll see whether, we've already seen this half, Intervong kind of dropping deep, looking to get on this ball a little bit more, which makes sense to me. She's clearly a talented footballer. There's Twytle tries to work that space down that far side. Runs out of room though. Clearance only as far as Intervong. Plays it through for Vulgaris. Vulgaris with her back to goal. Seen out by Guidi though. Plays that one sensibly for Herman. Nothing silly from North Mississauga. Kotsopoulos looks to bring that one into under control. Rose playing that one through for Twytle. Beautifully weighted. The ball in. And Young is there to see it through, but had found herself offside. Has to be said, Young's touch was necessary as Samantha Naus had done well to sweep up behind. But that is a sick enough for Blue Devils. They were so close to getting through there. The ball through for Twytle. She did terrifically to kind of get that one on net. And Poveda now looking for Young. And you can see that the Blue Devils have changed shape slightly. Stephanie Young certainly being more of a focal point. Intervong is sitting a little bit deeper alongside Gross now in midfield. That presumably is just looking to get her involved with some on-the-ball action a little more. So we kind of find our way down in the first 10 minutes or so of this half. Both sides with really good opportunities to add to the score sheet. Neither are able to do so thus far. Annika Gross doing well to power her way through a couple of challenges. Finding Twytle. Fashni does terrifically to come back and kind of like use her body to shield that ball, win the free kick. And now Carly thinks that the head coach of Blue Devils is actually having a word with the referee. The referee fed up with her remonstrations about some of his decisions, perhaps. Rossetti gets us restarted. Kotsopoulos was maybe looking to play it into the path of a teammate, but only found a Blue Devils shirt. Twytle loops that one up the wing for the on-rushing Young. She has options in the middle. Vulgaris is at the back post, but the ball doesn't find its way past Naus. Young's options there really just in a line. There was no kind of a straight line with the defense. There was no real option to kind of coming in late or staggered, so she was a little limited. And the referee now showing Carly thinks that a yellow card. There was a slightly sarcastic round of applause from the Oakville Blue Devils head coach for the awarding of that free kick. So, yeah, the referee taking matters into his own hands and using the authority bestowed upon him by the game to officially warn the Blue Devils head coach. So you can see the setup on this free kick here. It's again Oakville not packing the box with blue shirts, but look for Poveda to certainly make a late run with the ball. Twytle maybe looking to get that one actually just on target and play that ball in the net. Maybe hoping for a deflection or bounce of some sort, but getting a corner for her troubles. And again, you can see the Oakville Blue Devils players kind of stack up at the edge of the box. The only blue shirt really in what would be considered a regular position now, Abigail Russell, who's really just looking to kind of put pressure on the goalkeeper. Twytle will put that one in flat. Difficult one to read. Missed Guizzetti, hit the player behind her. Gets worked clear. Martins now. Ooh, maybe look to move a little too much. Is Micheline Simone Lully able to get that one clear? Gill, who'd been left all alone at the top of the field, tries to play it through for Fashni, but Forkers is on hand. Paolucci was calling for it to be left for the keeper, but there was no way there was enough pace on that ball to make it all the way through, as we see a substitution take place for North Mississauga. Alessia Guizzetti being replaced in the 61st minute or false alarm. Paperwork not quite in order, perhaps. So we'll continue on as we were. Teams unchanged. It's a lovely wee touch from Micheline Simone Lilly. Has to be said, her as mentioned, her hold-up play has been so good this game. And that's in part due to her physical presence, of course, but in part, a larger part of it is just the softness and deftness of her touch of the football. She's able to field that thing and make it stick anywhere. Anything within, several feet radius around her. Just evading Gill, but also evading Gross. Poveda now looking up. Ooh, a nice touch to get around Fowler. Finds Intervon. Poveda has Martins on the overlap. Moves that ball forward for Twytle, who's stayed onside. Up against Herman. That's a shot on net that isn't well held by Green. But the save just behind Vulgaris. Falk is then just looping that one in, but not getting past Naus. And Kotsopoulos just able to take that one away from Gross, and Falk has attempted. Ball back in. Not working for her. So, as we said, Blue Devils this half have been getting a lot of joy on that far side through the runs of their captain, Laura Twytle. She's been able to put in some dangerous balls. Certainly had that shot on target this time around. And these substitutions still not quite in order, so Addison Green gets us restarted. I've been finding myself almost in this kind of fullback position at this point. Oh, and now we have the changes. Guizetti is set to be replaced. By Avery Miller.
Substitution in the 63rd minute. Coming out of the match, number 17, Alessia Guizetti.
Guizetti is replaced by Avery Miller.
Number 24, Avery Millar.
Who has a
Substitution for North Mississauga in the 63rd minute.
has taken up residence on this near side to us, and then actually there was a substitution for the Blue Devils as well. Priscilla Vulgaris, who had been a thorn in the side of this North Mississauga defense the entire half, replaced by number 7 Samantha Russell.
23, Priscilla Vulgaris. Substitution in the 63rd.
This ball looped over from Twytle, headed clear by Naus. Only as far as Gross, who finds Twytle again. Well, was looked for Twytle. Pass was a touch awry. Actually see on that far side that Guizetti getting some treatment. So perhaps her replacement was based more on health rather than tactical. Which would also explain, actually, I guess, the placing of Herman as the fullback on that far side. They kind of like shuffle the positions around a little bit. The roles got changed a touch. As Guizetti had been the fullback on that side. As Micheline Simone Lilly wins a throw-in deep in Oakville territory. not clearing Martins. But the throw-in conceded. Actually, in a spot that North Mississauga would prefer. Gill is unattended and an easy option for Gidi, but instead it's tossed in deep for Micheline Simone-Lilly, who has 4 or 5 blue shirts around her and is able to make the turn, attempt the cross, and win the corner. And yeah, I have no doubt that the North Mississauga number 11 will be a target for this corner in by Nadia Gill. This one nearly dropped onto the head of Avery Miller, who moved well to get it, but had found herself slightly underneath at that one and was on net from Fowler. Probably was really just looking to halt the transition from Oakville, but will count as a save for Paolucci. She'll also take it, that one, into the stands. From Herman, who has now kind of taken up residence as the fullback on this side, so that's 3 positions. If we're counting if that Kennedy Herman has played so far, as Reese Fowler reads that one beautifully. Not it. And Forkas does well to keep that one in. As Herman, in her attempt to win the ball there, was maybe a little brusque in her attention towards Laura Twiddle, who's come on, switched sides. Samantha Russell actually is on that far side. So Twiddle now facing up against Herman. Looked to just step inside her, but it's a good challenge. Fowler does well to close that space out. That one loops over and Gross nips ahead of Gill. Martins just plays that one straight through, looking for Youngs. Oh, and then a good read from Russell. And a good step away, too, as she, the center back advances up the field. Looks to shape one in. Santoyane was there to make sure that it wasn't a clean ball through. Micheline Simone-Lilly with a really nice layoff for the advancing Gill. Gross is in attendance. Miller now finds Gill, who'd been given a little too much space on this side. But cross isn't clean. Intervong looks to get us going the other way. Ooh, Young first to that, but not given the free kick. Algamo just looks to settle that one down. Gross maybe looking for a little too much for that ball through to Twiddle. Oh, and Gross has her pocket picked by Nadia Gill, but the play continues. Ooh, nearly through. Gross looking for the run right through of Youngs, who was adjudged to have fouled Kennedy Herman in an attempt to regain possession or retain possession for the Oakville Blue Devils. You can see that the Blue Devils are really snapping into these challenges all across the field. They've been doing that through the first half, of course, as well, and certainly in the middle of the park, really denying space for North Mississauga. Oh, another change of shape here now. Twiddle back out on the far side. Russell, the substitute, closer to us now. Spaceny lets that one run, and it does, rolling down the line. And the clearance from Russell only as far as Kotsopoulos. Paveda settles it down, finds Forkas, whose touch was maybe was a little heavy. Miller onto it quickly. But Gross there to sweep things up. Russell now looking to get involved for the first time in the game, really in a serious way. Looks for Intervong, just evading the number 10 for Blue Devils. And we have another substitution. The substitute, who'd been brought on in the first half, Kira Kotsopoulos, is replaced by Bruna Mavignier.
North Mississauga substitution in the 71st minute. Coming into the match, number 21, Bruna Mavignier, Coming out of the match, number 8, Kira Kutsopoulos. Substitution in the 71st minute.
Micheline Simone Lully now looking to release Fashni down that side. She willingly will take that run on as Herman is into the back of Twytle. So she actually looks like Kennedy Herman is following the switching of sides of Laura Twytle. So that's like a battle we don't need to keep an eye on. The North Mississauga number 9 and the Oakville Blue Devils number 4. Intervong playing it through for Twytle. Martins doesn't want to look back. Able to find Dalgamo. Gross with time to turn in the middle of the field. Looks for Young. But Santoyani, alive to it, stepped in, makes the challenge. Focus loops that one over, looking for Russell. But between Miller and Guidi, they're able to smuggle the ball away from her. And then Nels is the one who's able to get it clear. Gill able to turn nicely. Doesn't really have many red shirts or options around her. Runs out of room, runs out of space. The Blue Devils happily take that one back. Paolucci nearly doing the same, but Martins, well, maybe looking for Twytle, but Paolucci being communicative with her entire team. Gross able to turn, play that one out for Focus. Oh, Gill stepping in nicely to win that one back. Wants to cut inside, take the shot on, loops that one over, just glancing over the bar. Did well, made the chance for herself by winning the ball back from Leanne Focus, who'd kind of run out of options as she was attempting to step out in defense. So as we round into the 74th minute of the game, North Mississauga still 2-0 to the good. No scoring thus far in this half. Gross has options. She's got this ball for Russell here. That's a really nicely found. Russell looking to step inside, but Miller had collapsed back well to kind of deny the easy options. Annika Gross's ball in wasn't particularly well directed. It was hopeful, more than precise. Ooh, and Gill did very well there. Find the Mavignier, who with the second time of asking is able to find Avery Miller on the near side. Russell doing just enough to provide attention to not allow any kind of clean contact or a clean ball into the infield. But Paolucci needed to be alive, as Micheline Simone Lully certainly was looking for anything loose in the box. And putting that one into the channel for Gill to chase, but it'll roll all the way through for Paolucci, or it would have done. But the Blue Devils defense actually getting them into a bit of a mix there. Dalgamo looking to take control of the ball, but perhaps actually maybe better served allowing it to roll through to her keeper. So we see another North Mississauga change here. As Alaya Micheline Simone Lully, the player who would open the scoring is replaced by Sarah Lucas.
Mississauga substitution in the 76th minute. Coming into the match, number 15, Sarah Lucas. Coming out of the match, number 11.
With a force from Miller. Oh, and I nearly wanted to take that one on, but did well to have her roll across her and take the shot on her left foot. Lucas looking to immediately get involved. Herman has her options. Guidi is all on her own on this near side to us, but now instead looking to go through the middle. Santoyani. Ooh, a miss kick there from Russell, but gets away with it only as far as Focus, but her clearance isn't good either. Gets to Guidi. Santoyani looking to play that one up the line for Feischney to chase, but Martins is alive to it. Gross not really allowed the time to change. Lucas is there. And Guidi does well to not allow Russell any space to advance. Forca's now playing with fire with that turn into space. Delgamo not going to give it any time or space by Gill. You can see how they've North Mississauga have changed their shape a little bit. Gill is now the spearhead. Ooh, a little touch there from a little step over from Russell to create the space for the pass. But Oakville have really found themselves hemmed in this half. Haven't really been able to, as the half has worn on, haven't really been able to affect the game as much. But Gross able to win a free kick in a dangerous looking position. And Sarah Lucas earning a yellow card for her sins shortly after her introduction to the match. And we see another substitution now as Maria Poveda will be replaced by Sarah Wiley. Poveda, I think, has just been another bright spot for Oakville. Done really well in terms of like retaining possession in tight spaces, keeping the ball moving when necessary. So it'll be interesting to see actually Young. We have got Young and Twytle stepped over this. We've already seen Young in the first half with a couple of long-range efforts that came very close, whereas Twytle has been like a consistent threat on the wings throughout the game. So I'm certain they'll be lining this one up, but it looks like Young to take it. Whoa, dear! On target, Addison Green, maybe beaten by the pace of it a touch, but did enough to just get her paws underneath it, so to speak. Punch it clear. Prevent the goal. That's really all that matters. Twytle plays that one to Gross, who's able to take steps into the penalty area, but Santoyani is quick off the mark. So Oakville now, the ones mounting some more pressure, looking to get themselves back in this game as time does wear down. Just over 10 minutes. Plus, of course, whatever the referee deems necessary in terms of extra time. Loops that one over. Oh, and the Marvinier, her clearance not a great one, but Gross not able to control that ball, allowing North Mississauga with an opportunity to get it clear. Oh, and Herman really only kicked it into the on-rushing Intervong. Blue Devils will want to get this ball back in play quickly, keep this pressure up. Martin's fighting on that side, take that space, only as far as Young. Russell will want an option, puts it right inside. Intervong able to just stop that ball dead, step around Santoyani, and the Martin found the head of the new introduction, Sarah Wiley. But the header lacking direction and power in this case. And Russell quick into Guidi, not really allowing her the option. Miller now with two around her.
A yellow card in the 77th minute, number 15, Sarah Lucas. Sarah Lucas with the yellow card in the 77th minute.
Young now has dropped back into that midfield position, which we saw her play through the first half with the introduction of Wiley. Forker not. Oh, Miller nearly looking to get that ball away from her, but Gross doing well, taking the space really nicely. Russell playing that one in for Wiley, but the substitute not able to make the ball stick. Oh, a lovely ball through from Russell. Finds Wiley, but Samantha Nels, who has actually been a defensive rock all game for North Mississauga, really read the game nicely. Was alive to that. Stepped in, made sure nothing untoward came of it. And Lucas allowing that ball to roll across her nicely, but Young stepping in. Just eluding into Vong. Fowler able to hack that one forward for Gill. Gets it into the feet of Miller. Russell is retreating very nicely, putting in her defensive shift. Forkers looks for options. Ooh, the Bulldog Ammo was a touch risky, just lashing it past Gill. Russell now looks to advance, moves the ball up for Martin on that far side, but North Mississauga cut off any ingress into their end. Ooh, a neat touch inside from Russell. Looks to keep Gidia honest. Well, it's good movement from Twydahl to get ahead of the defender, but the touch wasn't the best. And that's good communication from Addison Green and the North Mississauga net. Call up for defenders and scoop that one up. The ball from Intervong was looping over and really needed a runner in from the far side, but Twydahl had worked her way across the field already, so there was no kind of extra support on that side. Andrina Santoyani, who's actually also been a very good player. This is very good, calm with the ball, calm reading the game, stepping in to nip any sort of attacking movements in the bud. No silly nonsense with any through balls or anything like that. There's been a real kind of a calming presence. Fowler just hacks that one up for Gill to bring in. Was a nice lofted ball for Fashni to kind of like chase down. Paolucci with the big loud call, nice and early. She wanted that ball. Reminder as the clock wears down, 2-0, 2 goals in the first half for North Mississauga. Oakville with a couple of good opportunities, including a penalty that was actually sent wide by Stephanie Young. A goal that had been scored also actually by Stephanie Young, ruled offside, so it's good work from Wiley. Not give up on that one. Keep that ball alive.
North Mississauga substitution in the 85th minute, coming into the match, number 27, Elena Roca, coming out of the match, number 18, Darcy Fiachny.
So Darcy Fiachny replaced by Eliana Roca. Just in the last knockings of this game as Twydahl looks to play that one across, but couldn't quite get her left foot around it enough. North Mississauga, I'm sure, in no rush to get this game back on the way. Addison Green looking for options, but has to be careful. The referee does take exception to the times taken by Addison Green. And so she earns herself a yellow card in the 86th minute.
Mississauga yellow card in the 86th minute to number 1, Addison Green. North Mississauga yellow, 86th minute.
And after all that, the ball just sailing out of play for a Blue Devils throw-in. So, but some time eaten off the clock. So, you know, I'm sure the folks at North Mississauga will agree that it was worth it. Now does well to deny Wiley the turn. Russell fights her way through too, but not with the ball under any sort of control. Santoyani again looking for the long one for Gill, but with Micheline Simone Lilly being replaced earlier in the half, the focal point for North Mississauga isn't quite as distinct as it perhaps once was. That one will work its way through for Forkers. Keep it moving for Dalgamo. Dalgamo has Russell on this side. Isn't able to keep it in. Pass a touch behind the winger. As we said, Samantha Russell didn't really have too many options. Would she have been able to keep that ball in play anyway? So. Oh, and then and now actually late in the game here, Samantha Nals receives a yellow card for trying to officiate the game herself. Nals had taken exception to the lack of a yellow card for Stephanie Young for her challenge on Guidi. Lucas does well, gets that ball with Tamila, who's got some space ahead of her. Avery Miller really looks interested mostly in wearing down the clock. But didn't have the support, but he gets it back. Fights well, keep hold of that thing. And that one just pinging its way around, finding itself at the feet of Stephanie Young. Miller does, again, very, very well to keep this pressure up. Not let Oakville, not giving Oakville any easy routes out of their own end. Defense is not just the back four, of course, folks. It starts all the way up the field. Avery Miller giving us a really good introduction to that. As again, she fights with Intervong and actually wins a free kick for her efforts. And so one has to say, it might not be a goal or an assist, but the work by Avery Miller there, that defensive work so far high up the field, such a key part of the game late on as Oakville look to strive to find their way back in. Could be just as important as any other players. That one, just eludes everyone. Drifts its way out of play for an Oakville Blue Devils ball. Paolucci gets us off the mark quickly. Russell with nowhere to go. And able to bring it in. Gross has had Russell kind of on this far side, but Lucas did really well. As Dwight looking to play it quickly in for Wiley, but Santoyani again, reading the game really, really well. Focus just looping that one up for Young. Does well to elude one challenge, but can't get past the second. The ball breaks for Intervang. Russell does nicely to get the space on Guidi. Cuts inside, takes the shot on, but it's not a particularly powerful effort, but yeah, if that had been earlier in the game, as we are at the end of our 90 minutes. It would have been earlier in the game, it would have been very encouraging work for Samantha Russell, but there's Stephanie Young stepping into that one, bouncing off Kennedy Herman. Oh, it's a great turn from Twytle. But again, Santoyani, as she has all game. Herman is still down for North Mississauga and looks in a good deal of distress. It might just be a wee bit of cramp for Kennedy Herman, who in her defense has been herring up and down that line all game. And was tasked with the role of keeping Laura Twytle in the second half as the Oakville Blue Devils captain. Looked poised early on in the second half, looked poised to claim a goal back for Oakville. You have to commend the work of Herman to stymie that route that the Blue Devils were looking to take. So and that one lashed clear by Santoyani. Only as far as Russell. Young, turns nicely in the middle of the field, gets away from several, lines up the shot. Oh, that one again just flashing over the bar. Young throughout this game has had a few of those long shots and has looked dangerous on all of them, but has never been able to get her sights properly aligned. Each one getting closer and closer, but you have to say time may be running out for the Blue Devils. This now just loops that one clear, but only as far as Forkers. Attempted clearance coming back in off Miller's face. Guidi stepping into the space. Keeps that one in just about. Oh no, adjudged by the assistant referee on this near side to have gone out of play. Oh, and our referee calls things to a close, and this game ends 2-0 for the North Mississauga run-out winners over the Blue Devils. Thank you so much for joining us on this Game of the Week live stream on the League One Ontario YouTube channel. Please do join us again. Keep an eye on all of the social medias. Subscribe to the channel. Come back, and we'll see you soon for more great League One Ontario Women's Premier Division action in the future. Thank you.